Hey guys, it is Danny and welcome to this video, guys. So this video is going to be talking about, well, it's really what I think might be the outcome of the 2021 Atlantic hurricane season. We're going to be talking about the ocean temperatures, the El Nino/La Nina. We're also going to be making reference to the wind shear and conditions that existed last year and if they're existing this year, because we know that last year was a hyperactive hurricane season that featured the most named storms on record as of now. And so guys, before I go into all of that information, please subscribe and tap the bell so you know every time when I post a new update. Okay guys, and so first let us just take a look at the North Atlantic basin at this time. And so we're seeing that it is mainly clear right now, nothing much going on. We don't have any systems of interest in terms of tropical activity. The Caribbean is looking quite clear, mostly sunny skies in many countries. I can say for a fact here in Jamaica, even though this evening was quite cool and a bit overcast, thought we'd get a little rain but we didn't. But for most of the Atlantic basin, it's safe to say that there's not much going on in terms of potential tropical cyclone activity. And so for the current sea surface temperature map, so this is as of the 23rd of March, and so here we have it. The Caribbean and the southern portion of the North Atlantic is quite cool, especially just South Africa right there, and also in the Eastern Pacific, but that's not really our point of focus for the sea surface temperatures. But we will definitely talk about it shortly in terms of the ENSO, which stands for the El Nino Southern Oscillation. And so as I was saying, guys, the Caribbean is looking quite warm as normal because of course this is the tropical zone, and so it's usually warm all year round. But it's other areas of the main development region further north that as time goes by we will see an increase in ocean temperatures. We've just entered spring, and of course summer is in June, so by that time we will definitely start to see a warm up in terms of the ocean temperatures. And so guys, now let us take a look at what ocean temperatures were like last year compared to now. And so guys, this is a video that I made. This was for last year's hurricane season countdown, and this was on the 22nd of March last year. So just a year ago I made this video, so I took the screenshot, and we see that we can say that last year this time around the ocean temperatures were a lot warmer. Well, not a lot, but they were warmer than they are now, especially just South Africa right there. And we see that more of the Gulf of Mexico and even the Gulf Stream right there along the southeastern coast of the US, quite warm. So last year was a bit warmer than this year. And for a fact, 2020 is one of the warmest years on record. I believe the second warmest after 2016, I believe. So guys, yeah, things were quite heated last year, and especially in terms of the hurricane season, it was just crazy. And so guys, now let us go and look at that El Nino Southern Oscillation that I've been mentioning. So as of right now, we're going to be focusing on that blue region that we see in the Eastern Pacific, just right around the area of the western part of the Americas. And so guys, we see that we're seeing mainly the blues, but the thing is that the darker the color, that means the lower the temperature. So as we go down, the temperatures decrease, and that usually signifies the fact that we are having a La Nina, and that is usually what results in the hyperactivity in the Atlantic. So notice that last year we weren't hearing much about the Eastern Pacific hurricane season, but we were hearing so much about the Atlantic. It's because activity there was very, very minimal due to this. So when temperatures are cold in the Eastern Pacific, in that ENSO region right there, it is the opposite in the Atlantic. But if we're having a warm up, that is going to be our El Nino now, then we're going to be having more favorable conditions over that side to accommodate tropical activity, while in the Atlantic it's going to be cool. And so usually guys, earlier this year I saw that the ENSO region was a lot cooler, which means that conditions would be in a way more supportive of tropical development. But not expected at this time of the year. It's really as we go down into summer that we're really going to have to be watching it and be making predictions on what's to happen based on the trends and all of that. But this is the time of year where we're having these fluctuations taking place. And so looking at the 3.4 index, this is really just like a graph showing the intensity of that region. And so we see that the temperature has been on the rise. Take a look at the period of about between February 23rd and the 9th of March right there. We're seeing a warming trend right in that region, a little spike right there going up to March 9th, and then it kind of comes down a bit and then goes back up as of the 23rd. So it's really going to be fluctuating for a while before we see something that is quite constant, guys. But we really have to wait and see. We've had forecasters already predicting that the season is going to be above average, and above average, guys, it does not mean anything compared to last year. Above average is just meaning that there is likely to be more than 12 named storms, 6 hurricanes, and about 2 or 3 major hurricanes, because that is normal activity right there. So when they say above normal or above average, they're referring to more storms, maybe about 2 or so, more than what is usually anticipated for each hurricane season or considered as average, guys. So we really have to wait and see what's going to happen, but we're having this fluctuation, and maybe it's going to go back down, and it's going to get cooler, and things this season could be quite crazy. But we really just have to wait and see, guys. And so in terms of the wind shear right now, we're having a lot of strong shear really dominating the North Atlantic basin as usual, because this is the time of year where we're not expecting any favorable environment to accommodate tropical cyclogenesis. But as I said, as time goes by, things are going to start getting heated and more favorable. And there's another factor that is quite impactful that I've not mentioned much about, and that is the Saharan dust. And so here in the Caribbean, when it's around, we usually see it's like the time is so hazy and there is not much rain, and of course it's so hot because dust traps heat. There haven't been any of that so far, but of course as we go down further, especially around like June, that is really going to be a time where we start to have a lot of the Saharan dust coming over from the Sahara Desert in Africa. And so, guys, just a reminder of the names, the tropical cyclone names for the year 2021, going from Anna all the way to Wanda. And so personally, I usually just do these predictions where I see a name and I might say, maybe this storm is going to be quite dangerous. So for this season, I'm thinking of Julian and Nicholas for potentially being used for the strongest storm. But of course, guys, that is nothing to really consider, because just take it with a grain of salt, because it is least likely to happen. But for 2018, I predicted that maybe Michael will be used, and it turns out that Michael was used for the strongest system. And for 2019, I predicted, I think, Imelda and Lorenzo, but Lorenzo was a Cat 5, but the strongest was Dorian, and Lorenzo was the next strongest of that season. So it's just a mere prediction. I just, just see a name, like it, and say, maybe this is going to be used for a significant storm. But tell me what you guys think is going to be happening for this hurricane season in the comments below. I really want to hear your thoughts, or what you think is likely to take place, guys, because it's good to have a discussion about it as time goes by and we see the conditions or make mention of something that might be impactful. And so, guys, that is really what my view of what possible outcome of the 2021 season might be, or what's taking place right now. I'm really expecting that this season is likely to be above average, but I'm not expecting as much activity as we saw in 2020, because things were quite unprecedented and crazy, and I'm not really anticipating any of that for this season, even though I'm expecting that the season is going to be active, maybe not as much tropical cyclones being formed, guys. But of course, anything can happen. And so, of course, later down, maybe in 2 months or so, I'll make another video like this, giving a second outlook on the Atlantic hurricane season. And I will also give you guys another estimate of names. Like, for example, I might expect like 20 storms, this hurricanes, that hurricanes, so like that. I will be doing that later down in the year, and as time goes by, I will keep you guys updated. And of course, guys, stay tuned every Monday for a hurricane season countdown video that covers the current conditions that are taking place across the North Atlantic and what is expected, and if there are anything important to talk about. And so, guys, that is it for this video, and if you found it to be quite informative, please give a thumbs up, and you can also share your thoughts in the comments or ask a question. I'll try to respond as best innocent as I can, and just remember to always be weather wise. And of course, I will keep you guys updated on the tropics as time goes by.